Hi everyone, this is Paige Evans for Studio Calico, and today I'm going to share some ideas about using up the leftover bits and pieces of your kits. So I'm using the Copper Mountain kit as well as the Fremont Glades Slingshot and High Point kits. So I've grabbed all of the pattern papers from those kits, and I've chosen this black and white photo of my son chasing a pigeon, and I just love how carefree and fun this picture is. So I'm matting it on white cardstock to help it stand out from the colorful background that I plan to make. I'm just going to stick it down right in the center of this dark gray pattern paper from Studio Calico. And basically, I've got all of these leftover pattern papers, and they're not full sheets, so you can't use them as backgrounds. You can punch shapes from them, or I'm just kind of using an old school technique of tearing pattern paper strips. And I want the white torn edge to show, so that's the side that I'm going to adhere down. And basically the name of the game for this layout is framing my photo, so I'm going to create this really fun torn pattern paper strip frame around my photo. And what I love about tearing pattern paper is you really can't do it wrong. There's no right or wrong way to tear pattern paper. You just go along and you tear it. So right now I'm just getting the general feel for how I want the papers to look, and then I'll go and adhere them down in place. Alright, it's getting to that point where they're just moving around too much, so I'm going to start adhering them down. So I've grabbed the leftover white cardstock that I trimmed the photo from, and I'm just using that as scrap paper so I don't get excess glue anywhere on my layout or on the table. And just fast forward it a bit so you can see the progression of the layout. I'm just going to keep adding a couple more until it almost touches the edges. I'm going to leave about 1 inch, 2 inches of the dark gray pattern all around the edges. So you can just see how I'm working, building out from the photo out to the edges, just tucking the pattern papers underneath one another. And to get rid of the straight edges, I'm just tearing off the corners. And eventually I got smart and I just tore one strip or trimmed one strip and tore it in half, and that would give me the both sides that I needed, because you can get, there's a pattern on the front and the back, so you get 2 pieces of paper from each one. It's really cool. I love all the bright colors, all the patterns together. So now I'm taking the vellum letters and sticking them right on top of the white space of my photo. There are so many letter stickers on these sheets. I'm sure you could create like a dozen layouts and not run out of letter stickers. Calling this the chase. It's all about chasing birds. I'm not sticking them down all the way right away because I want to make sure I get the placement right. Alright, so here's this wood veneer matrix, and I cut it apart already, so now what am I supposed to do with the extras? Well, since we're framing the photo, let's just frame it even further, and I've trimmed off the edges. I'm just going to tuck them right under the photo edges and draw more attention to the photo. So that's a fun way to use up these wood veneer scraps. Another fun way to use scraps is to trim right around negative shapes. So I used these cork asterisks on a layout for my Copper Mountain layouts, and now I'm trimming around the asterisks and tucking them under the edges for a fun embellishment. See, I just created a visual triangle, or just a triangle to draw your eye all around the page. So really get 2 for 1. You get the shape inside the cork, and you can get the, the shape once again. Same technique, here's this die cut star. I'm trimming around it. Tucked it under in another wood veneer shape, just going to peekaboo underneath. I'm going to frame the title with these brackets stickers. Sometimes you don't really know what to do with the extra, letters and symbols. Create some frames. From these Simple Stories chipboard sheet, I'm just adding a couple of small embellishments. And there's so many labels on that sheet that comes in the Copper Mountain kit, so I'm using one of my final labels to write journaling. And of course, what's a layout without some spray mist? So I'm dropping some Mr. Huey's over the cork pieces. So there's some fun ways to use up your scraps. Thanks so much for watching, and I want to invite you to studiocalico.com for endless inspiration. Have a good day.